Hi, I'm Tom, physiotherapist and osteopath. In the previous video, I talked about the terrain theory. Terrain refers to the body's internal environment. And a strong and healthy terrain means that the physiological and metabolic processes in the body are balanced. On the other hand, a weakened terrain predisposes the body to illness. Now, many factors can make our terrain weak or suboptimal. One of them are endocrine disruptors. These are chemical substances that mess up our hormone function. Now, let's start by explaining a bit what hormones are. Hormones are chemical substances that act like messenger molecules in our body. After being made in one part of the body, they travel to other parts of the body where they help control how cells and organs do their work. For example, insulin is a hormone that's made in the pancreas. And when it's released into the bloodstream, insulin helps regulate how the cells of the body use glucose or sugar for energy. For a hormone to be able to interact with a cell, it needs to bind to a receptor. A specific receptor only recognizes and is able to bind to one type of hormone. Each hormone has a specific size and shape to fit in its designated receptor. Think of it as a ship entering the harbor. Each ship has its specific place where it should dock before it can start to unload its cargo. Well, the hormone needs to bind to the receptor before it can start interacting with the cell. Hormones are made by endocrine glands. These are groups of specialized cells, like, for example, the adrenal glands, the pituitary gland, and the thyroid gland. They help control many physiological functions, and they are very important in maintaining balance of the internal environment. Some well-known hormones are insulin, as I said before, which is active in the sugar metabolism, cortisol, which is one of our stress hormones, and testosterone and estrogen, which are the male and female sex hormones. They all have their specific role. They act on different tissues and organs, and they influence peculiar physiological and metabolic processes. Hormonal imbalances can lead to serious diseases, like, for example, diabetes or hypothyroidism. One of the possible causes of hormonal imbalances is the frequent contact with endocrine disruptors. These are substances that do not naturally occur in our body, and they interfere with the normal hormone functioning. We can come in contact with these substances through our environment. For example, air that we breathe, water that we come in contact with. Also through the food that we eat, because it can contain residues of pesticides, phytoestrogens, or also through contact with many consumer products, including cosmetics, household products, plastics, even children's toys. It's estimated that there are over 1,000 substances that have endocrine disrupting potential. Some common endocrine disruptors are the following ones. Atrazine, which is a widely used herbicide and has been shown to affect the hypothalamus and pituitary glands, both located in the brain. Bisphenol A, which we can find in food packaging and toys. Dioxins, those are a byproduct from industrial processes, like, for example, bleaching. PFAS are chemicals used as oil and water repellents in clothing, cookware, paper, and so on. Phthalates. Phthalates are chemicals that we can find in food packaging, cosmetics, fragrances, children's toys, even medical devices. There are various kinds of flame retardants used in furniture, carpets, electrical equipment that are categorized as hormone disrupting. The phytoestrogen that I talked about before are naturally occurring substances with hormone-like activity, and we find them in some plants, like, for example, soy. And lastly, we can also find residues of pharmaceutical products, for example, in meat. Avoiding them all is likely impossible, but we should definitely try to reduce our exposure to a minimum. Now let's take a look at them by exposure category. First, the endocrine disruptors in our food. We have typical persistent environmental contaminants that can bioaccumulate within organisms and the food chain, and thus also within our body. The main ones are dioxins, heavy metals, and certain pesticides. Although they are mostly banned, they are still present because of their persistence. They're very difficult to break down. There are also substances that are used in the primary production of food. These include pesticides, biocides, medication residue, feed additives, and also growth hormones from the animal industry. Then there are substances that come from contact with the food packaging. For example, phthalates, BPA. The naturally occurring compounds like phytoestrogens are found in certain types of plants. And another naturally occurring compound can be mycoestrogen, which are estrogens that are produced by fungi. And finally, some hormone-disrupting substances might be formed during the food processing. Let's take a look at some household products that contain hormone disruptors. Cleaning products and synthetic detergents can contain antimicrobial agents and preservatives that mess with your hormones. The same cleaning products, as well as air fresheners, often contain synthetic fragrances packed with phthalates and other nasty stuff you want to avoid. Cheap plastic materials like broom handles, dustpans, and so on also possibly contain harmful chemicals. And fabric softeners mix various chemicals that serve as surfactants and fragrances and that are qualified as endocrine disruptors. Thirdly, endocrine disruptors are found in cosmetics and personal hygiene products. Many of our daily health and beauty products contain synthetic chemicals, including some endocrine disruptors, and those can be harmful to our health. Not only women, but also more and more men use daily creams and lotions. Even basic products like soap, shampoo, and deodorants can contain harmful antimicrobial agents, preservatives, and fragrances. Especially look out for phthalates, parabens, and PFAS. Also, conventional menstrual products may contain bisphenol and pesticides. Especially try to avoid products that are bleached with chlorine, as they may contain dioxin residue. And finally, hormone disruptors can affect us through environmental exposure. Our wastewater from individual and industrial use contaminates the drinking water. And it also contaminates the oceans, and together with microplastics cause a buildup of hormone-disrupting substances in fish and other sea animals that then eventually end up in our food chain. Air pollution is another way we can ingest harmful chemicals, both as gas or as very small particles that we breathe in. And be aware that indoor air often contains more hormone disruptors than outdoor air, so ventilating your home is very important. As you see, endocrine disruptors are everywhere. And although it's probably impossible to avoid them all, we should make an effort to reduce our exposure. They're not only linked to endocrine disorders, but also to many non-communicable diseases like diabetes, high blood pressure, neurodevelopmental diseases, and cancer. Now, where do you start if you want to avoid endocrine disruptors? If you're not an expert, it's very difficult to decipher product labels, especially because the industry does its best to hide harmful chemicals from you. Luckily, there are some databases that come in very handy. And one of them is the website ewg.org. EWG stands for Environmental Working Group. Since its establishment in 1993, the Environmental Working Group has been dedicated to highlighting outdated laws, harmful farming methods, and corporate shortcuts that jeopardize both our health and the environment. They advocate for industries to embrace their rigorous standards and oppose the use of harmful chemicals. And through providing practical information, they empower consumers like you to make informed choices, and they cultivate a demand for safer products. On their website, you can find several interesting guides that will help you decide which products you will put in your shopping bag and which you're going to stay away from. For cosmetics and hygiene products, you can use their Skin Deep database. They have over 100,000 products from almost 4,000 brands reviewed and categorized. Their hazard scoring goes from EWG verified, which is the best score, to 10, which means very hazardous. Products with the EWG verified, the 1 and 2 score, are the safest. From 3 to 6 means moderate hazard, and from 7 to 10, high hazard. For household products, you can consult EWG's Guide to Healthy Cleaning. They review more than 2,500 products. The scoring ranges from EWG verified and then A to F, A being of lowest concern and F being of highest concern. A little over 26% of the products are of low concern or better. Further, they have a series of home guides going from how to choose the right carpet to which mattress to buy and which paint to use in your nursery. Really, really helpful stuff, and all for free. And finally, they also have a food database with over 80,000 food products. The products are scored from 1 to 10, 1 being the best score and 10 the worst. It also includes many reports and guides that will help you make the right food choices. So, as you see, the EWG website is really the place to be if you want to ban hormone disruptors and other harmful chemicals from your life. This is especially important if you have young children, because they are the most vulnerable to the effects of these chemicals. This was it for today. I hope you found it helpful. Don't forget to register for the free online class on the 7th of April next month. Just go to the website link below, and I hope to see you there. Bye-bye. Hi, thanks again for watching this video. Just a quick message to inform you that because of reasons beyond my control, the online class has been rescheduled for Sunday, the 12th of May at 1 p.m. Central Standard Time. I hope to see you there. Bye-bye.